Alright, just to give you a quick warning, sorry I haven't been uploading yesterday because I didn't feel like uploading today. I didn't feel like uploading yesterday because I had a lot of work to do, so yeah. Um, okay, so I didn't know what to make a video about, so I decided to make another part of what chapter am I? Oh, 82, I think. 80, 82, okay, nice. All right, so this is a story about the copy formatted papers. So, Alex Aguilar, Mrs. Schmidt, English 9, accelerated. Okay, so small boy, big dreams. It was the beginning of the what it looked like to be a real chilly and blustery fall. Summer had been dying for the past week or so. Kids were playing outside, playing like leaves that fell from the abundant trees. Pardon me, you could hear all those kids laughing, having the best time of their life. Then you can hear how softly the wind was coming in, whispering to you. All the flowers had delivered, but were replaced by the colorful red, yellow, and orange leaves that have been like fallen from the trees. As I sit in these tree benches, in my childhood memories started to come back bit by bit. It must be the place where I'm at. It must be all the kids running around and playing as I get a ball is where place I'm at. It was like as I get up the ball is like kicked down to my feet. Quickly, I kick it back to the kids, then all the memories quickly came back. The memories of my childhood before I become such a big famous athlete. I remember myself as a young 13-year-old teenager. You could say I was that what many people call the dreamer. I remember I used to sit in these benches, always thinking about my what my future would be like. I didn't have big dreams after all, but as a young kid, I was always discouraged by the things around me. Well, all the people around me, people would often say, "You're not gonna make it fat for a kid," or "Just stop dreaming," which people saying that bothered me a lot, but I kept on going no matter what. It was a beautiful Sunday morning. It was breezy, but still beautiful. It had a mindset of getting ready for the next day, the growth mindset that we have to do on map tests. I told my mom I was going to go out for a run because I felt like I needed it. I had all the scenarios in my head. I had talked to myself saying, "What if you don't make it? Or what if you're worst? What if you're the worst one playing for a team?" I wasn't gonna going go. I was uh, uh, I was going. I I I wasn't going to let that take me down, but scenarios were still running away, down my head. Well, after all here came today, the time I was waiting for, I looked like I had arrived pretty early compared to the other people. I put on my cleats, and did my warm ups. I was ready for what was coming. Please ignore that. I was stuttering. We were on our way to run for condition. The sun was shining hard on our faces, but we were still going. We were no in passing or drilling or drill or dribbling the balls down the green field. An hour passed by. Here came to find time to find who really made the team. I felt like my heart was pounding 1,000 miles per hour. The coach slowly, a bit by bit, was announcing names. It came to the last two, but didn't hear my name. My heart stopped. I guess my biggest fear became true. I saw so many people happy and excited. I asked, "Coach, what happened with my score?" He didn't seem to care because he just shrugged. I guess I wasn't good enough to make the team. I went home and told my parents about what happened. They tried to cheer me up, but my dreams had already gone to the dump. A year passed since that happened. I bet I had been working my butt off all year long. I went to tryouts again, did the same thing I did last time, but the difference was I felt better about my skills. I felt like a new fresh player once again, my heart pounding. I was waiting once again. The coach was reading the names of the list. Once again, I was all so disappointed. I put my head down. I asked the coach what happened at this time, and he responded, "Honestly, you're not good enough to make it to this team, son. I don't think you even have a future in the sport." I again left my house. I left to my house disappointed. It didn't matter this time. I barely felt like my dream wasn't alive. I didn't tell my parents anything. I just went to my room. 2 years later, 2 years passed since then. I worked my butt off that year. I didn't make the team. This time it was for a club. I actually got to play for a club. Well, when I made the team, I didn't notice some scouts in the tryouts. I guess it was the biggest blessing I have ever gotten. A few weeks after the tryout, a letter arrived in the mail. It had a stamp that looked to be as the stamp of the Mexico national team. I got so excited and opened slowly. It said that they had seen me play. They said that they were inviting me to play for a national team. My eyes started to tear up. I had proved the high school coach wrong. I felt like I was finally in heaven, like my life was accomplished. All my dreams and goals were accomplished. I told my family and all of them with tears in their eyes too, congratulated me, and here came my time to shine. 6 months later, I was at my first game. People saluted me and make me feel welcomed. It was a kickoff of the game. I was a bit nervous, but I beat it. I had the ball, passed one player slowly and calmly. Another player come towards me and I passed him too. I passed the ball. Then once again, it was passed to me. I kicked the ball as hard as it could. It curved in. Slowly, I went in. Everyone with mouth open were surprised. Young player with who nobody believed in to score first debut goal. I had finally been alive. My goals turned to an accomplishment, and my fears turned to minorities. I felt like the world was finally mine. Suddenly, I was back at the same bench. It was just ordinary flashback I had. They were still kids playing around, and there were still colorful leaves on the ground. I still heard together laughter. At least now the world may know that was how Big Boy with Dreams came to be known. That is the story behind the dream. All right, let me know if you have any questions about the story. I'm gonna read that again. Exploration questions. Ancient Ancient astronomy. On a separate sheet of paper, answer all the following questions. Write short answers to create lists of tables or draw diagrams to complete the questions in the best way possible for yourself. How long have people been doing astronomy? What do you think Asian peoples did astronomy? How are calendars and astronomy associated? When did the Unitas culture exist? Where was it located? What is the oldest historical site currently known as that was used for astronomy? When did the ancient Babylonians exist? What base number system did the ancient Babylonians use? Explain your own words. What did ancient Babylonians contribute to astronomy? When did ancient Egyptian culture exist? What uses did they have for astronomy? Who were the ancient Mayans? What uses did the ancient Mayans have for astronomy? What are the two known sites used by Native Americans for astronomy? What did the ancient Greeks bring to astronomy? Who was the first ancient Greek to measure the circumference of the Earth? How did he do it? Explain in detail. I am going to do hypothesis forms that uh, me and Dallas are doing. Um, Group members, period, Oswald notes Page, while reviewing the information about Lee Harvey Oswald and his possible involvement in the assassination of President Kennedy, Write down 3 or more facts that lead to you believe he did commit the crime. Any facts that lead to you believe he did not commit the crime. Record your group's hypothesis on the back of his page and write your final hypothesis on a box's sheet up for your final suspect board. He did commit the crime. He did not commit the crime. Also a hypothesis. Okay, so LBG notes page. While revealing the information about Vice President Lyndon Johnson and his possible involvement in the assassination of President Kennedy, write down 3 or more facts that he did commit the crime or did not commit the crime. Okay. Here are the hypotheses as well. Second, unidentified assassin notes page. While revealing the information about a possible second unidentified assassin and their possible involvement in the assassination of President Kennedy, write down 3 or more facts. So do the same thing. The Cubans notes page. While revealing the information about the Cubans and Fidel Castro and their possible involvement in the assassination of President Kennedy. The FBI notes page. While revealing the information about the FBI and their possible involvement in the assassination of President Kennedy. The KGB notes. While revealing the information about the KGB and their possible involvement in the assassination of President Kennedy. Can do the same thing. Always. The Mafia notes page. While revealing the information about the Mafia and its possible involvement in the assassination of President Kennedy, write down 3 more facts or type 3 more facts. Medical notes page. While revealing the information of your various medical documents surrounding the case, write down 3 or more facts that lead to you to believe one person over another committed a crime. Record your group's hypothesis on this page and be sure to include this information on your suspect board. You can use the info notes. Me and Dallas are still working on that too. We'll be able to work on it on Monday. Just to let you know that April 7th, I'm going to get a crown on Dental Solutions Columbus. So I probably, I don't know what time though, but my mom was letting me know. Okay, so I'm going to do Kennedy's approach. Directions. Go to Discovery and click on the assignment entitled President Kennedy's Foreign Policy. Use page 1 only to complete the table below. When you are finished, submit the assignment to its learning. Campaign promises. What did Kennedy pledge to fight? Military defense policy. What did Kennedy rely on? Diplomacy and foreign relations. What did Kennedy do around the world as president? Covert actions. What did Kennedy do that was sneaky while in office? There's 2 options. There's 2. There's 3, and there's 1 and 1. There are 2 ones. There's President John F. Kennedy. If you guys don't know, if you guys are little, if you guys don't know who John F. Kennedy is, go look him up. You'll be learning more about him. In the new Google Doc, answer the following questions. Video, Kepler's laws, and beyond. This reminds me of, Mr. Murphy's class that he did. What did the Copernican revolution suggest about the location of the sun? What did Tycho? I don't know how to say it honestly. How do you say that? Tycho or something? I don't know how to say it. How do you say it? I'm sorry, I don't know how to say it.
Tycho Brahe.
Oh, Tycho Brahe. Okay, so what did Tycho Brahe collect? What did Copernicus believe that was the shape of the planetary orbits? What shape did Kepler realize a planet's orbit had? What is Kepler's first law? What is the name of the point in a planet's orbit when it is closest to the sun? What is the name of a point in a planet's orbits when it furthest from the sun? According to Kepler's second law, what is a orbital speed dependent on? When is a planet slowing down? When is a planet speeding up? What does Kepler's second law say about the areas of the ellipse? Or the ellipse, that's what I should say. What does Kepler's third law say? What is a semi-major axis? What is the mathematical formula for the third law? What are the units for P and A? What were these laws used to calculate? I'm sorry. What did Galilei observe about the moon? You might learn about him for the Super Y. What did Galileo observe about the sun? What did the orbit of Jupiter's four moons tell us about the solar system? What do the faces of Venus demonstrate? What offense did the Catholic Church give Galileo? Which of these laws discusses gravity? Mr. Burton, this reminds me of Super Y, I'm not gonna lie. This Kepler law is beyond speaking of Galileo, it reminds me of Super Y, honestly. It really reminds me of the Super Y that I used to watch all the time when I was bored sometimes. Quinn Simpson, Toys in Play. Intellectual development. Why aren't you uploading it? Did I not click it all the way? I was gonna say. Directions. You're going to be doing some research on toys and play for toddlers' intellectual development. Um, um, Work on your way down to Google Doc and click on links. Do some further exploring, researching what you need to do. Answer all the questions embedded throughout. Resource you can click on early childhood education. List the main ways toddlers learn. I still have that assignment trying to work on too. Um, I was gonna finish the rest of it, but okay. Okay, so list the main ways toddlers learn. Videos that are currently presented in shows like Nick Jr. or PBS Kids and more. Describe how toddlers learn through play. They can play blocks and share together one for one. How can a parent support learning for a toddler? They can support a love, attention, and privacy. Resource, you can click on that. Describe these types of play and gives an example of each. Quiet play, description, example. Creative play, active play, and cooperative play. Dramatic play and manipulative play. As a parent, you must evaluate toys to see if they are suitable for a child. Create a list of 5 questions to ask yourself before purchasing a toy for a toddler. Do your own research, but do not copy and paste for questions. Make your own. There are 5. Do you think play for toddlers is brain food? Why or why not? As a child gets to school age, is play still important? Is play balanced with learning? How much time is spent on each? Do teenagers still play? How about adults? They probably still do play for a second. Toys come in all shapes and sizes. What are some things that you could find around your house that would be safe for a toddler to play with? Would you recommend that toddlers play with things you suggested? Why or why not? Create a Google Slides presentation that includes the following toy suggestions for toddlers. Then put a viewable link to your presentation here. Toys for 1-year-olds. Short explanation of the ability level of 1-year-olds in your own words. Free toys just suggestions with pictures that you could purchase. One toy suggestion that you could find around your house with a picture. Toys for 2-year-olds. Short explanation with the ability at what level of 2-year-olds in your own words. Free toy suggestions with pictures that you could purchase. One toy suggestion that you could find around the house with picture. Toys for 3-year-olds. Short explanation of ability level of 3-year-olds in your own words. Free toy suggestions with picture that you could purchase. One toy suggestion that you could find around the house with picture. A link. You click on the resources. Recorder for the 10 tips of toy safety in your own opinion. For the most important to the least important 10 tips. Why is one? Why isn't there hashtag one where it is on your list? Why is there 10? What are the requirements for the Child Safety Protection Act? You can, I gotta be honest with you, it's gonna be a lot of work. I gotta keep up with my grades and stuff like that. I don't even know what my grades are, honestly. I think I'm done with this, top part. I don't know how well I'm doing in my assignments, but I think I'm doing good, I guess. I guess I could say that. I'm gonna be doing copy of the man who builded the American video that questions. Episode A New War Begins. Some may have called the United States a failed experiment after the Civil War. Why? What role did Vanderbilt play in helping the country rebuild after the Civil War? What is a hostile takeover? How did Vanderbilt deal with this kind of competition? What major studies emerged in decades after the Civil War? Episode 2 Oil Strike. What does it mean to beat the odds? And how is John Rockefeller an example of this concept? What is refining oil and why was it so important when oil first became a popular commodity? Standard Oil was one of the nation's first monopolies. What is a monopoly? Why do you think leaders like Rockefeller wanted to shut out the competition? What was the Panic of 1873? Episode 3. Was it Bessemer steel process and how did it transform the construction industry? Why were infrastructure projects such as bridges and roads so important to American growth? Why do you think Carnegie and Rockefeller became rivals? What do they have in common and what divided them? Let us build. What caused the Jonestown or a flood? What caused the Johnstown flood? What were some of the outcomes of a disaster? What role did the American Red Cross play? Do you think Henry Frick was a good leader? Why or why not? Why did workers strike at the Homestead Still Act or plant? Why was the strike an important turning point in American history? Do you think Carnegie was responsible for the Johnstown flood and the Homestead strike? Why or why not? Episode 5 A New Rival Emerges. What were some of the challenges Carnegie faced? Do you think he could have avoided these difficulties? What were J.P. Morgan's major areas of businesses? Why was he such an important figure in U.S. history? What role did risk play in big businesses? What kind of risks did Carnegie and Rockefeller take? Episode 6 Owning It All. What is the difference between AC and DC power? What do you think of Morgan's decision to buy out Thomas Edison? Do you think this decision was fair to Edison? Why was J.P. Morgan's ability to loan funds to the federal government so important? Do you think you want to agree with one commentator that this was an act of nationalism? What is Morganization? Why was his approach to important and notable feature for the American economy? Episode 7 Taking the White House. I thought of that when I was free. Why were the American workers upset at the time of the 1896 election? How did William Jennings Bryan attempt to address some of their concerns? Why did the business tycoons put their support behind William McKinley? What were they successful or not? What does antitrust mean? Do you agree with the strategy of breaking up businesses that become very dominant in one industry? The new machine. Why was the election of the President Theodore Roosevelt so significant? What were some of the major changes that he has made? What were some of Henry Ford's key invitations or innovations? Why was the paint in a candle such an important project? What is philanthropy? What is philanthropy? Is that how you say it? Philanthropy or philanthropy? What is philanthropy? Do you think all businesses leaders are obligated to also be like philanthropists? What do you think, honestly? Sorry guys, I'll try to make more videos often. Sometimes I don't feel like uploading, but it's okay. I can deal with it. Even I don't even know how long I'm recording for, but I'll take that as I'll take that as a yes. How about oh thanks. I am going to do this one. Video questions. Schrodinger discoveries of the shape of atoms. What does quantum mechanics describe? When was the theory of quantum mechanics invented? What did they find the atom was made of? Free particles. What is in the core of that atom? What is the first model of these atoms scientists made? What did de Broglie notice about electrons? What did Schrodinger create? What did he call it? What did his equation allow him to create? What did he call his blobby? The blobby is the shape of an electron. When you take a measurement of the electron, what happens to wave function? What two scientists create a link in between? The answer for following questions. If you guys have time, um, I know you guys don't feel like you don't want to be in class, but it's okay. You don't have to listen, but you guys can listen if you want to. I mean, I'm not forcing you to listen and do the right thing. I'm just saying, like, um, it's just for me to tell you know, guys, that I can keep up with my work. All right, I'm gonna do a e-learning bingo card once again. Why is it telling me to? Why is it telling me to like if you want to do it or not? Students must earn a minimum of 100 points per week. May 12th, May 18th for bingo cards. If you need help with ingredients or equipment, please let Miss Fisher know. Reach out of the Google Hangouts app from your phone. Always use your own name to fulfill your wildest culinary dreams. Let me know. Savor. Recipe reading, recipe writing part 2, Global Foods Project, tasty video, butter chicken India, lomo saltado video worksheet, prepare lomo saltado, make pizza monkey bread, spaghetti and meatballs, what level are you worksheet, Culinary Institute of America's virtual tour worksheet, COVID-19 worksheet, prepare a family meal, fast food potatoes comparison, fast food potatoes part 2, food truck project, what does it really cost to run a restaurant worksheet, make fresh pasta carbonara, make pasta stickers, fast food potatoes part 3 worksheet, watch one, make one, teach one, kitchen makeover, cooking show part 2, mashed potatoes, what level are you worksheet. If you get a bingo, Miss Fisher will send you a prize. Four corners earns 10 points or extra credit per card. You can click on the resources. This is just a tip of the iceberg as far as cooking resources. Feel free to find your own as well. Alright, so I am going to do. I'm gonna have to do the exploration questions. Mineral identification. On your same Google Doc, answer all the following questions, write short answers, create lists or tables, or draw diagrams to complete the questions in the best way possible for yourself. What ion makes up a majority of silicate minerals? Draw a diagram of that ion to state its chemical formula. List the major categories of non-silicate minerals and give example of each. Give a detailed explanation of how to perform the starch test of a check of a mineral's hardness. Why is color not the best method for identifying a mineral? What kind of minerals may be identified by testing it with a weak acid? What gas is released in this process? What is a mineral luster? List all types of mineral luster and give examples of each type. What is a mineral cleavage? Oh, cleavage. What are the categories of defining mineral cleavage? What is density? Calculate the following density examples. Mass equals 7.54 g. Mass equals 8.91 g. Mass equals 5.41 g, or 44 g. Sorry. Volume equals 2.6 ml. Volume equals 3.1 ml. Volume equals 2.7 ml. You can read some of this if you feel free. Alright. Can't wait to get not owned by me assignments. I just want to get my. I just want to focus on my real assignments, that are made currently by me, honestly. I want to read them so bad, but I can't. But maybe part 83, I'll be able to do that. Um, I'll try to. I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna do. I guess I'm gonna do copy of 9/11 interview, document, directions. Your assignment is to find a person who is alive and old enough to understand what happened to America on this Tuesday, September 11th, 2001. Consider a relative, family friend, or even a teacher here at Columbus North. Ask that person the following questions below. You can record your answers on a sheet of paper, or you can type the answers out on a Microsoft Word, save the interview, and email it to me. Or type answers in a Google Doc and submit it to its learning. Who did you interview? What is your relationship to them? Did you have an interview? Questions to ask. All must be asked and answered. How old were you when the 9/11 attacks took place? Where were you at that time? What were you doing? How did you find out about the attacks? When did you know it was a terrorist attack? What emotions and thoughts were going through your mind as you learned about the attacks? Were you afraid of your safety or the safety for your family? What actions did you take? What was your most vivid memory of that day? Do you know people who were personally impacted by the attacks? What happened to them? Has 9/11 changed you? How so? How do you believe 9/11 has changed our nation, the world? Most of you guys weren't. Some people in 11th grade, people were not born in 2000. And I know that some people were born. I know that some people were born in 2001, which is Zanglik. He was born in April of 2001. He was born in April of 2001. So I'm gonna have to ask him someday about what happened when 9/11 took place. Probably. I'm gonna do about Mrs. that I read a note to Mrs. Sanders. Mrs. Sanders, Quinn Simpson, thank you note. This was for my English class but I wanted to do for free. This was made by May 18th. Dear Mrs. Sanders, I actually liked you as a teacher before. You were funny as I thought. You loved to read my stories because it contains conclusion I learned every day. It's really sad you have retired, but you can enjoy being more agent for yourself. I hope you do good for experience now. Thank you, Mrs. Sanders. And this was for Mrs. Terry that used to be here. Wait. Hold on. I gotta look at the. I gotta look at the. I gotta look at the note. You must be an editor to see this document views history. But I am an editor. What do you think? Oh, Miss Terry. I don't know what happened to her. Okay, so if you guys have any questions, let me know. Um, okay, so most of you guys have questions about most of my assignments. I think you guys are all good. Um, so you know that um, I'll be able to let you know that be able to do what I can or not to answer your questions the best way possible for yourself. Most people ask questions about their teacher and say, like, what happened to 9/11? Did families get killed for this or no? People wanted to know that question for like so long. Your history teacher will probably tell you this. Most of your families are okay. Most of your families are very safe. They were not killed, but some families were killed. Some families were killed due to the some families were working at a different place that were in a different place. What do you think? Question to you guys. What do you think 9/11 took place in your opinion? All right, let me know in the comments down below.